Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about two important questions from physiology for NEET PG examination. So the first question is, which is the fastest conducting cell in the conducting system? SA node, AV node, bundle of is Purkinje fibers. The correct answer is Purkinje fibers. These conduct the impulses at the rate of 4 meter per second. So this is the fastest conducting cell of the conducting system of heart. So SA node, AV node, bundle of is Purkinje fibers. These are the modified contractile cells. The slow conducting cell is AVN. It sends the impulses at the rate of 0.05 meter per second. So AVN is the slowest and Purkinje fibers are the fastest conducting system. Why AVN will send impulses at a slower rate? Because of small diameter and they are very few in number and there is no gap junction. This figure shows sinoatrial node, that is SA node, AV node, bundle of his contains left and right branch, then Purkinje fibers. Purkinje fibers are the fastest conducting and AV node is the slowest conducting. Play to potential is seen in all these conducting system except AV node and SA node. In those we will see pacemaker potential. Pacemaker potential is seen in SA node and AV node. There is something called AV nodal delay. So what is this AV nodal delay? There is delay of 92 milliseconds or 0.092 second. There is delay of 92 milliseconds for the conduction of impulses. So what are the advantage of this AV nodal delay? This AV nodal delay is the main reason for the contraction of atria before the ventricles. Always atria will contract before the ventricles. So what is the advantage of this AV nodal delay? This suggests that atria will contract before the ventricles. So this is responsible for last part of the ventricular filling. So what is the effect of sympathetic stimulation on pacemaker potential? It decreases the depolarization and it increases the heart rate. So what is the effect of sympathetic system on heart rate? It increases the heart rate. So what is the effect of parasympathetic system on heart rate? It decreases the heart rate. So normal pulse or heart rate will be at the range of 60 to 100. Up to 100 is normal. From SA node, the intrinsic rate of discharge of SA node is 100 beats per minute. SA node will generate impulses at the rate of 100 beats per minute, but normally we don't have heart rate of 100 at rest, but our resting heart rate won't be 100 usually. Why? Even though SA node produces 100 impulses per minute, but our heart rate is not 100 at resting phase. Why this is not 100? Because of resting vagal tone. There is something called resting vagal tone. Because of this, even though there will be production of 100 impulses, the heart rate won't be 100, it will be less, as vagus is a inhibitory stimulation. So the heart rate will be around 70 to 80 beats per minute. So the resting heart rate usually will be 70 to 80 beats per minute, not 100, because of resting vagal tone. So this resting vagal tone won't be there in transplanted heart. So the heart rate of transplanted heart will be 100 beats per minute. In case of athletes, there will be high resting vagal tone. So in athletes we will see bradycardia at rest. This is normal for athletes. That's why in athletes the pulse rate will be less than 60. So these athletes will be having high cardiac reserve. They will have bradycardia and they will be having high resting vagal tone and high cardiac reserve. So the next question is, which of the following cannot be measured by spirometry? Tidal volume, functional residual capacity or FRC, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume. The correct answer is functional residual capacity. This tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, these can be measured by spirometry, but we can't measure functional residual capacity by spirometry. So what are the parameters which we can't measure by spirometry? One is functional residual capacity, residual volume, and total lung capacity. We can't measure these three by spirometry. What are the methods to measure functional residual capacity? We can measure it by helium dilution method, or nitrogen washout method, and the third one is whole body plethysmography. So this is the best method for measurement of functional residual capacity. These are the methods to measure functional residual capacity. So what is this tidal volume, functional residual capacity, inspiratory reserve volume? So what are the lung volumes and capacities? We will study those. First one is tidal volume. What is tidal volume? It is the volume of air inspired or expired during normal tidal respiration. If this is a respiratory curve, it is the volume of air inspired or expired during normal respiration. So this is the tidal volume. Normal value will be 500 ml, both in males and females. This is the tidal volume. It is the volume of air inspired or expired during normal tidal respiration. Next one is inspiratory reserve volume. What is inspiratory reserve volume? It is the volume of air inspired forcefully over and above the tidal inspiration with maximum effort. This is the normal curve. This is the tidal volume. This will be inspiratory reserve volume. It is the volume of air inspired forcefully over and above the tidal inspiration. This is the inspiratory reserve volume. So the amount will be, in females it is 900 ml, in males it is 3300 ml. What is inspiratory reserve volume? It is the volume of air inspired forcefully over and above the tidal respiration. This is the inspiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume. It is the volume of air expired forcefully over and above the tidal expiration with maximum effort. So this is the normal curve. This is the tidal volume. This is the tidal volume. So this will be expiratory reserve volume. It is the volume of air expired forcefully over and above the tidal expiration. The amount will be, in case of males, it is 1000 ml. In females, it is around 700 ml. Next one is residual volume. It is the volume of air which remains in the lung at the end of forceful expiration. It is the volume of air which remains in the lung at the end of forceful expiration. This word is important. What is residual volume? It is the volume of air which remains in the lung at the end of forceful expiration. This is the curve. So this is tidal volume, this is inspiratory reserve volume, this is expiratory reserve volume. The residual volume is the volume of air which remains in the lung at the end of forceful expiration. That is, this is the forceful expiration. At the end of forceful expiration, the amount of air is residual volume. So this is residual volume. Normal value will be, in males, it is around 1200 ml. In females, it is around 1100 ml. So the amount of air which remains in the lung at the end of forceful expiration is residual volume. Next one is functional residual capacity. Functional residual capacity. This is the volume of air present in the lungs at the end of normal expiration. Volume of air present in lungs at the end of normal expiration. This is the curve. This is the functional residual capacity. It is the volume of air present in the lungs at the end of normal expiration. So it is below this tidal volume. Next one is vital capacity or forced vital capacity. What is vital capacity? It is the volume of air expired forcefully after a forceful inspiration. It is the volume of air expired forcefully after a forceful inspiration. Volume of air expired forcefully after forceful inspiration. So this is the curve. So it is the volume of air expired forcefully after forceful inspiration. So this is the vital capacity. So these are the types of lung volumes and capacity. So this is the diagrammatic representation. This is the tidal volume. It is the volume of air inspired or expired during normal tidal respiration. This is tidal volume. Its volume is around 500 ml. Next is inspiratory reserve volume. This is the inspiratory reserve volume. It is the volume of air inspired forcefully over and above the tidal inspiration. This is above the tidal inspiration, inspiratory reserve volume. Next is expiratory reserve volume. It is the volume of air expired forcefully over and above the tidal expiration, over and above the tidal expiration. This is expiratory reserve volume. Next is residual capacity. What is residual capacity? It is the volume of air which remains in the lung at the end of forceful expiration. So next is functional residual capacity. It is the volume of air present in the lungs at the end of normal expiration. What is vital capacity? This is tidal volume. This is tidal volume. This is vital capacity. It is the volume of air expired forcefully after a forceful inspiration. The normal volume is the total lung capacity in case of males is 6000 ml. In female, it is around 4200 ml. So this is all about physiology questions discussion. These two are the important topics, that is pacemaker of the heart and the lung volumes and capacities. If you like this video, please click like button and please share this video to your friends and please subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.